Guess what I got asked? Yep, the classic "what's the deal with this idiom?" From the get-go. I will explain it, and you've got it covered today. Let me tell you a story that will clear up any misunderstanding about its literal meaning. Imagine someone asking for a ride and jumping into the car before you even start the engine. That's not how it works, right? From the get-go means from the very beginning, not before it even starts. Now, let's get into the definition. From the get-go means from the very beginning of something, from the outset, or from the start. It's often used to emphasize the importance of starting something right away. To remember from the get-go easily, think of it as from the very beginning. Let's go. Let me give you a story using from the get-go. From the get-go, he knew she was the one. From the get-go, they were inseparable. From the get-go, he gave it his all. From the get-go, she knew it was a mistake. From the get-go, they were doomed. Here are 10 fun facts about from the get-go that you should know. 1. It originated in African American vernacular English in the 1960s. 2. It's often used in sports commentary to describe an early lead. 3. It's a common phrase in business to emphasize the importance of starting a project right away. 4. It's often used in music to describe the start of a song. 5. It's been used in popular TV shows like Breaking Bad and The Wire. 6. It's similar to the phrase right off the bat. 7. It's the opposite of at the 11th hour. 8. It's a great phrase to use in job interviews to describe your work ethic. 9. It's a fun phrase to use when planning a road trip. 10. It's a great phrase to use to encourage someone to start something new. Let me give you 5 example sentences illustrating the usage of from the get-go. 1. I knew from the get-go that this project was going to be a success. 2. They started working on the project from the get-go. 3. From the get-go, she knew she was in trouble. 4. He was in the lead from the get-go. 5. They had a plan from the get-go. Let's make a sentence using from the get-go and rephrase it without using the idiom. From the get-go, she knew she wanted to be a doctor. Rephrase, right from the start, she knew she wanted to be a doctor. Rephrase, she knew she wanted to be a doctor from the very beginning. Here's a real-life story highlighting the impact of from the get-go. A friend of mine started a fitness journey, and from the get-go, she was committed to making it work. She lost 50 pounds in 6 months and inspired others to do the same. Other similar expressions to from the get-go include from the outset, from the start, right from the beginning, and from the word go. The opposite expressions of from the get-go include at the 11th hour, at the last minute, and just in time. Let's see if you've understood the idiom. Choose the correct option. 1. What does from the get-go mean? A. At the last minute. B. From the very beginning. C. After it's finished. Answer, B. 2. Which of the following is not a memory aid for from the get-go? A. From the outset. B. From the start. C. From the moon. Answer, C. 3. Which of the following is not a similar expression to from the get-go? A. From the outset. B. From the start. C. From the finish. Answer, C. To summarize, from the get-go means from the very beginning of something. Remember it as from the very beginning. Let's go. It's a common phrase in business, sports, and music, and it's similar to right off the bat. It's the opposite of at the 11th hour. Use it to describe your work ethic or encourage someone to start something new. And don't forget to share your story with the idiom in the comments.